Welcome to the Learn Podcast, episode 28, where first you learn, then you drop the L, and then you earn. I'm your host, Dean the Wealth Coach, and this is Danae. She just keeps popping up in the videos. But that's fine, because she's a kid, and we like for kids to just be kids. Kids just want to have fun, you know? And that leads in today's topic, where have you ever been frustrated? Easy with the chair, bro. Can you stop? I'm recording. As I told you, I'm not editing this. I'm just keeping it as it is. And what I want to talk about today, or that leads into my first topic, and it's talking about, have you ever been frustrated with something and okay, let me just give you an example. Me, I don't fold my clothes when I do my laundry. I literally just stuff it in the drawer or put it wherever it goes. I just hate folding clothes. And it made me just sit there and think. I was like, why do I hate folding clothes? Have you ever questioned yourself as to why you do something that you shouldn't do, like a bad habit or something that you wish you weren't doing? So for me, it was trying to figure out why I didn't like to fold clothes. And when it came to me, it was like, oh, I was never taught to fold clothes. So because I don't know to fold clothes, I just put the clothes back any way possible. And I see like how people in the clothing store fold clothes, or how other people fold clothes. But for me, it never worked. So I said, you know what, screw that. I'm just gonna put the clothes in the drawer and that's it. But my clothes would always come out wrinkled. And why I got frustrated is because when I tried to fold the clothes, it never came out good. So that's what led to me not wanting to fold clothes. It's like as I get the clothes, I just throw it into the drawer or wherever they go. Like I don't care. Like they're clean. Okay, I know that this is the clean pile, this is the dirty pile. But sometimes you need to ask yourself, why are you doing the things that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing? And it would say a lot about you. Sometimes it goes back to your childhood, like the way you grew up, or not saying I had a traumatic event, but it could be something that was traumatic that is leading you to the actions that you take today. And for me, it was just thinking about just the clothes. It's like I never learned how to fold clothes. So if I never learned, how do I know how to fold clothes, right? And because it was something that I didn't know how to do, if I did start doing it, I would get frustrated. And the frustration led me to just be like, you know what? Instead of trying to fold it, I'll just put it where it goes. Like I know where it goes in my drawer. I have my shirts, I have my boxers, I have my socks in drawer, and that's it. So this is going out to like if parents, if you do have children, there's times that they're gonna get frustrated about something, and you have to exercise patience with them when they're trying to learn or when they're doing something that they don't understand. For example, my son, he doesn't understand half the majority of things that me and his mom tell him, and it's our duty to be able to understand what it is that he's going through and help guide and coach him through that. Also, for adults, if you're learning something new and it frustrates you, that's a sign of a good thing. You have more sense than a child does, and you should be able to identify like, this is hard, but if I stick with it, I can get better at it. For example, riding a bike. We all have been there. We didn't know how to ride a bike. We got on the bike, we fell off. I fell on my bike endless amount of times. I don't even know. My daughters fell off the bike. My sons fell off the bike. It all happens to us. The first time I went swimming, me like a big bozo, just jumped into the pool, not realizing I don't know how to swim. And then luckily my dad was in the pool, and he saved me. I literally started choking on the water, and then there went all my lunch on the pool deck. Because
is your credit score trash? Are you tired of collection agencies calling you? Are you tired of being denied bank loans and credit cards? Well, then you're in luck. I have created an ebook that will help you repair, maintain, and leverage your credit. Don't even consider filing bankruptcy before reading this book. If you struggle with fixing your credit, then this book is for you. If you struggle with increasing your credit score, then this book is for you. If you are unsure on how to leverage your credit, then this book is definitely for you.
Click the link in the bio and get the credit guide today. For some reason, I just don't like diving. Like I just feel like I'm gonna dive too deep, and then my head's gonna hit the thing, and then my neck's gonna break, and I'm gonna become paralyzed. That's a phobia that I'll get over one day or another, but just not today. So, with that being said, when something frustrates you, look at that as a growing pain and not as something like, I can't do it. Take away that T, and it's always, I can. I can. If I continue doing the thing that I'm doing repeatedly, I will be able to progress. So keep that in mind with yourself and also with your children. Another thing I wanted to talk about was I was watching the Monique special on Netflix, and when she came out on stage, the way the crowd was championing her, or championing, whatever that word is, but just praising her. Yeah, the way they were just praising her, they're just like, Monique, Monique, and like her eyes like started to tear up, and it just became so red, and she just felt so good to be on stage, to see how many people are there to see her. And her opening act, where she was talking about, she's like, to all the people that doubted me and the teachers, I'm that dumb kid that's up here on stage and blah blah blah, and people are just applauding her. And it made me think to myself, I was like, people didn't call me dumb, but I saw myself as that dumb kid because I couldn't read. I was a slow reader. I was behind with reading in my classes. I words were going all over the place, but I never understood why until I got older. And it didn't eventually I got help to overcome my learning disability, which was dyslexia. They put me into a special class and to help me to learn to read. And with that class, it's like it was hard for me to learn to read, but I didn't fight it. And they also took an approach that wasn't forceful for me to start reading. And it was a very good approach because, not to say that I overcame dyslexia, but I was able to read better and at a higher level than I was before. Sorry, I'm just losing my voice here. But it's because I continuously practice and practice, I got better at reading. And in grade 5, I started to read a novel series called Goosebumps. I didn't like to read before until I started to read those books. They say um, learn to or read until you love what you're reading, something like that. Just Google it, you'll find what I'm talking about. But I found something that I actually like to read, and this was like a chapter book for kids. And I found myself every time there was a Scholastic book sale, I'd be buying these books and reading them from front to back. Like, you can never catch me reading a book. But when Goosebumps came out, I don't know why, but it just intrigued me. After Goosebumps, I didn't read for like many years until like my adulthood, maybe a couple years ago. I started to read again, and it was more so for self development. And with the self development books, I started to take interest in there. First book I started with was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Then it was the 4 Hour Work Week, and there was one by Kevin O'Leary. I picked up some blackjack books. Funny enough, I never read the books, and they're just sitting there collecting dust. But maybe one day I'll pick them up and read them. But as I got a bit older, it started to become more interesting to me. And what was something that used to frustrate me is now something that I really enjoy doing. Like, if I show you guys a collection of my books, like, it's not big, but to me it's pretty big, right? And they say that your library should be bigger than your TV. My TV is pretty big, so I got a lot of book purchasing to do to catch up to the size of my TV. And yeah, it's like if you feel something is just really hard, one of the episodes I dropped, I said ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. Whatever it is that you need help with, seek someone to help you get over that hump. If you are shy or you feel like someone's gonna judge you, we live in a day and age where nobody cares. If you ask for help, people actually feel good that you're actually coming to them for help instead of you just sitting there and being frustrated about it. You could also go on the internet. Google is your best friend. YouTube University is free. Like, there's so many resources out there. We don't have to grow on our own. We can ask people for help, search on the internet. There's so many avenues to figure out things. If you just sit down and put your mind to it, anything is achievable. Find ways to turn your negative into a positive. A negative cannot exist without a positive. And same thing with a positive. So if you take that energy, that if you just look and just search within yourself, or just search for an answer, why is this happening? What can I do to overcome this? How can I overcome this? If you keep asking the questions, the answer will eventually pop up. I think, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to just talk about today. Just when you feel frustrated, just look deep inside yourself and just keep asking the question. Ask for help. Eventually, you will get over that hump. Me being in front of this mic, or being in front of a mic and a camera, this is something I never thought I would be doing. For years and years, I DJ'd for like 15 plus, maybe about 15 plus years. You know how many times I picked up a mic? I think maybe I can count on one hand how many times I picked up a mic. And I was just so afraid to do it. I had no issues using my hands to mix, but when it came to my voice, that was something that I just didn't want to do. But now I'm letting you know that, hey, this is something that's been a growing pain for me, but this growing pain is a good growing pain. And what my negative was, talking in front of a camera, talking on a mic, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to turn that negative and turn it into a positive. That's why I'm here making these podcasts, getting my voice out there, these ideas that I have in my head that I want to be sharing with you guys, so that you can become a better person and build wealth. Not just financially, but physically, mentally, socially, and with your time. So that wraps up today's episode. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with the Learn podcast. My challenge is to get to 75 episodes. And I got some really crazy ideas up here that I'm going to be doing on this podcast between, this is episode 28 to episode 75. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow.